So it's a very good afternoon and welcome here to Blacktown International Sports Park. It's elimination final time here in the AFL Sydney competition, and it is the St George Dragons taking on the Sydney University Students, finishing 4th and 5th on the ladder in 2015 respectively, and it should be a cracking afternoon here at Blacktown. You'd have to say that the Dragons go in favourites for this game, but stranger things have happened. We saw yesterday Manly Warringah would have gone into that game as favourites over Pennant Hills, but a fantastic effort by the Demons. See them take on the Eagles next week. We'll go on to take on the Giants next weekend. We have a look, as we said, the games that have been played. We look at that game from yesterday. Manly Warringah, well, they defeated the Giants there 4-11-35, 7-11-53 Pennant Hills. It was a marvellous effort by the Pennant Hills Demons to come away with the win. And of course today St George taking on Sydney University. The East Coast Eagles watched on yesterday afternoon, and they'll be looking forward to taking on the Demons next week out there at Henson Park. Have a look at the two teams for this afternoon. St George, this is the way they lined up as named on Friday afternoon, and some big names in there. You look for Ryan and Donahue up there at full forward this afternoon, and of course Napa and those guys, Addison across the back line, will be keys for them. For the Students, well, a team that's been chopped and changed quite a bit throughout the year, mainly due to their commitments at the NEFL level. They had a great win yesterday over Southport, the Sydney University Students, to progress in the NEFL finals, but that's the way they line up, and it'll be a big task for the Students, but I'm sure one that they will set themselves for. Just about to get underway here at Blacktown. The umpires for this afternoon in the yellow, we have Aidan Kittle, Matthew Bajan and Lachlan Head lining up for the umpires. Teams starting to move into position. All set to start this one off. As I said, the winner progresses in 2015. The loser, it is Mad Monday celebrations for them tomorrow, as their season will finish here at Blacktown this afternoon. All in readiness in the middle. Should be a fantastic afternoon's worth of footy. Everything to play for here for both sides. And we're underway in the elimination final. Straight away in the ruck there for the Students, Smith. But the Dragons get first touch. And Sydney University mark across Hart's back. They come through now to Horton. Good kick up there, but a very good effort there from Napa. Ensures that his opponent in Jack Campbell doesn't take the clean mark. The sun just breaking through. We have had some wet weather overnight and early this morning, but the sun breaking through. Blacktown looking in fantastic condition at the moment. Inside from Smith. Didn't find a target. And St George who come away with it, wanting to go straight down the middle. A good pick up. And dish off. Campbell in there again amongst it. Could have been holding the ball. Umpire lets them play. Plenty of numbers around the football. They'll come in now and sort it out. And a free kick out of the contest. It'll be Guthrie to take it. Goes across to Hill. Delivers. And the Dragons get the first on the board. Really good work on the far side by Jake Brown. Nice pick up. Nick Ryan had everything. Got in front, hands up. Gave no opportunity there to Michael Baker. Takes the mark. And most importantly, went back and kicked the goal. The first on the board for the Dragons here in this elimination final. Jordan West in there for St George, but coming away with it is Ben Jones. They go inside again, another one to Ryan. So straight away Nick Ryan has said, this is finals football and this is the way I play. And he's lining up within 3 minutes, lining up for his second goal of the afternoon. And they back him in from here. Ryan, kick on its way, beautifully done. And straight away, 2 goals on the board to the Dragons. And they get their final started in perfect fashion. Once again, we'll have a look at Nick Ryan, just strong hands above. Straight out of the middle. West out of the ruck. Here's the mark again. Just too big, too strong. Just plucked it out of the air. Baker had no idea even where the ball was. So 2 goals on the board very early for the Dragons, and that one will come back. It's very quiet here. You might have just heard in the effects mic a call for talk. He's very quiet here. Certainly in relation to yesterday's game. Once again, West out of the middle and problems popping up for Sydney University everywhere. They go forward again. Ryan on the long lead. Does it by hand this time. Gives it across to Jones. Jones has his kick smothered. And the ball comes eventually out there to Robertson. The boundary line wins out. Two goals on the board to the Dragons. And they are in control early. That one's going out of bounds on the full. Back in, and Napa takes the mark. Almost its mark there. Involved there was Jones, but umpire calls play on. Quick kick out there by Prescott. Goes forward to Ryan again, pops it up nicely, gives it off to Hill. Hill tries to swing it around the corner. Going back is Donahue, the only one out there. Comes back on the left boot, swings it around. Playing with the goals at the moment. Ryan's kick goes back with a smart kick and found Tomlin's. And Tomlin moves quickly, goes inside, and another mark taken. They're playing with him at the moment, and Jones takes the mark, and he will go back and line up for a shot on goal. 4 opportunities there to score, the Dragons. In the end, they've brought it back to Jones. And this for their third. Little kink in the run and looks good off the boot though. Beautifully struck, and another goal on the board to St George. And they are in command. Interesting passage of play. It looked like Donahue was going to be able to have a nice clean shot coming in there. Some good work from Avis Foster. His kick went across. This one was the nice one. Back from Nick Ryan. And Tomlin's found Jones. And he finished off the Dragons. So 3 goals on the board. They lead by 18 points. Sydney University haven't looked like scoring yet. The umpire's going to call that one back. Seven-minute mark, first term. Dragons with all the football at the moment. Wrapped up in the tackle, Crockmale. No opportunity, the umpire will ball it up. West, imposing figure in there. It's really going to be tough for Smith. They really look like they have that dominant-sized ruckman in their ranks this afternoon. Really has been the final series. We were just treading water to play with the teams selected almost a month out and positions not changing. Coming out to meet it, their first foray forward, there was Elkington. Got the ball clear. Now trying to find a way through. The umpire says it was possibly tackle below the knees, even though he was held up in the air. Cert Bass goes inside. Really no option. Addison there for the Dragons. We'll see it over the line. And has a little run in with the concrete and the fence. West front, puts his hand to it first. It's really what Sydney University are going to have to do. More and more looks like they'll just have to ruck to the opposition ruckman. Man up around the contest. Smith has just been, it's not even Smith in there, Horton was doing the ruck work. No match at all for big Jordan West. Turned it over and turned it back. Smith goes inside, good kick. Found Clark. Clark's kick is a good one as well. They're starting to build something here, the students. Kick, another one, a good one. Just treaded water until something presented. In the end, it was Chris Brown who found a bit of space inside 50. So some loose checking from the Dragons and a shot on goal, the result. And to say they need this would be an understatement. Brown. His kick is good. And Sydney University get their first on the board. And they stem the flow just that tiny little bit. Chris Brown has the first on the board for Sydney University. Margin back to 12 points. Smith tries to get a run out of it. Doesn't come off. Cert Bass comes out with it. Puts it back inside 50 for the students. Addison just couldn't track it in. Getting back there also, could have been taken high, was Martin. And the umpire will say holding the ball against Martin. And it'll be a kick, I think, to Elkington. Martin gets up and says, well, did as much as I could, but it wasn't enough in the eyes of the umpires. Elkington will line up for his first shot on goal. And this to bring it back to 6 points, and after a flurry of goal from the Dragons early, they'd be pretty happy with the result here. Tom Elkington, it's on its way, he sets it up nicely, coming back beautifully. And Elkington gets another one for Sydney Uni, and it's a right roll shootout at the moment. Here it was the kick. Yeah, the middle. Brown jumped on the ball. Rightly so. Could have been high on that contest. And the umpire said, not enough done. So we're back to a 6-point game. And for all their dominance early, the Dragons have let a couple through, and they get another one out of the middle now, the students. Pushing forward again, Addison goes hard at the footy. Fife kicks it inside for Sydney Uni. The bounce awkward. Sits up nicely for Elkington. Just drops it on the boot. Held the dribble. And eventually kicked through for a behind by Horton. The Dragons move it quickly. Addison goes wide. Work it back through the middle. This is Lakakis. Work this well. Hodgson now with the ball. Another one short. Goes that way. Just maintain possession, the Dragons. And they find themselves 70 out from goal. Kenny. Here's a good kick. One kick away from scoring position. And the students haven't touched the ball. Ryan just worked under the ball, and a mark's been taken at the back. And it's a good one by Jack Hill. And he will go back, and beautiful passage of play by St George. Maintained possession right from the kick in. And here we have Jack Hill lining up for a shot on goal. Kick from inside 50. On its way. It'll go the journey just offline. And St George get their first blemish of the afternoon. Comes out, mark's taken, and they want to move it quickly. I don't know about the handball. Crockmore was under pressure, did well to get it away. Spinning out of trouble there was Travis Martin. Now the Dragons go again, and the kick's a good one, finds Donoghue on the lead. Wants to straighten up, now he goes, called the play on, so it gets it onto the left boot. Might have assisted him there, he's kicked the goal, Donoghue. And the Dragons have another. Good finish by Donoghue. Straight through the middle. So it looked like he wanted to play on, straighten up. And when forced to go on the left. Sometimes when you take the old grey matter out of the equation and you have to kick quick without thinking about it, it can assist you. And it did there for Donoghue. West gets up and about. Holding the ball almost from Roberts, but they get it clear, the students. Inside 50 is the ball. Looking there, well read. And it was in the 8. Let's check the team sheet. A late change in numbers there for St George. It was Conan wearing 8. Students now with an opportunity. Shot comes. And it's gone out of bounds on the full. Be sure to bring it in. Goes short, inventive kick. Good work there from Zach Fife to make sure that one wasn't taken cleanly, and they lock the ball inside again for another opportunity, the students. They trail by 12 points, just ticking into the 16th minute of the first quarter. Big fun punch out of there. It'll be interesting how to see that umpire calls this. The ball went back out on the full, and they're discussing. It's going to be a free kick to St George, exactly right. And it'll be Napa to take it. Offhands on occasion. Prescott was right there. And it goes through the middle, but it's been sharked away by Vella. And now smothered off the boot, and the St George have got an opportunity to go forward. Running forward is Ryan. How will this one sit? He's got the vision, just couldn't bring it in. Brings it to ground. The students good enough to clean up. And coming out there is Potts. He drives them back. Really a attacking game of football at the moment. Handball comes up. Addison got involved. Also in there is Campbell for the students. Just bouncing around at the bottom of the pack. And eventually the umpire will come in. 17 played first term. West in the ruck, brings it down. Straight into the arms there of Jake Brown, but just couldn't get out of traffic. And we'll have another ball up. West again, looks like Smith just wants to get in front of him, impede his run, and so far it's working. The students now come away with it. Quick hands out of the pack, just running into a bit of traffic, bounces around, swings it on the boot now, won't be a score. And getting back, well done Napa. Takes the relieving mark. This is where they've been dangerous. This is Conant. Drives them up, looking for West. Did well. Pops up the handball. But now the students rally in support. Horton inside again. And there's a free kick on the play. It's going to be a St George kick. And go to Conant. And they move it quickly. Brown. And now St George with a chance. Kenny goes back inside, finds Jones. Jones with a quick kick around the corner, popping it up. Looking there, intended for Rickson. In fact, it's not Rickson, it is Martin. And some good work from Daniel Potts to see it over the boundary line. Knew he was outnumbered. Comes in, Ryan does the ruck work for the Dragons. It's out in front, that's a throw, and well seen by the umpire. Trying to invent something there was Martin. And not let to get away with it. Out now in front of Smith. Smith goes with a long kick, but Addison reads it well. Out to Jones, who's had plenty of it. Pops it up in. This is Oban. Oban's kick goes inside, finds Prescott. They're just maintaining possession. They're finding free players and just setting themselves up for the attack on goal. Looking for Ryan again. Worked under the ball. Looks like Robertson standing him. He's done that on a couple of occasions and gotten away with it. Quick hands, but sharked away there by Gilbert. They go inside, the kick not a great one, and back there is Potts. And gets the kick out, finds Campbell. Not a lot on offer. Addison sitting just that kick away from the footy. And that was ambitious to say the least. Burns tried to give the 1-2. Reset for a ball up, centre wing here. A little bit of feeling around the game. West gets it down there to Tomlins. Umpire says holding the man. Tomlins will get the free kick. Bronx cheers from the St George supporters here at Blacktown. Pops it up, Ryan again. Napper's at the other end. Could be holding the ball, this. Umpire says yes, it was. Jones looked to handball over his head, but never released the ball. Umpire within his right to say he had opportunity. A real slow burn at the moment. The St George got out of the blocks early. But just the dour struggle at the moment. Plenty of stoppages. Good knock, comes down, looking for Guthrie running past, but well read. The umpire has seen a free kick. It's going to be high. It's going to be some Sydney University free kick. And go back to Cert Bass. Cert Bass's kick. Risky, but it pays off. Robertson. They've worked the switch well. Potts has to do a little dance. Centres it up. Teammate. Avis Foster under a little bit of pressure. And puts himself under pressure now, Avis Foster. Puts himself under even more pressure. Has to get a quick kick away and the turnover comes. Now in the arms of Shaw. Shaw gives to Ryan. Ryan just pops it up. Almost did too much. But the mark is taken by Lukakis. And Lukakis will have to kick from 50. Gives it off to Ryan. Ryan from outside 50 on the way. Won't have the legs and will be touched over the line. 4-2 now, St George. They lead by 13 points. In the middle of the ground now. West wins the ruck, but plenty of numbers. Free kick coming. St Sydney Uni will get the kick. And the students will reload. St George still playing that loose man in defence. Now called to play on. Worked himself into traffic with the play on. Brown steps around his opponent. Now pops it up, and the mark could be... Yeah, the infringement was there, the push in the back. St George will relieve some of the pressure. Looking for Jones again. He's really been the go-to man this afternoon. Wrapped up, that's a throw. Martin it was, just had the arm pinned. And makes it easy for the umpire to call those ones. Hoban, chiseling kick was a good one. Found Frawley. Avis Foster's kick. Sorry. May pop it up. Right, it was Burns. Horton tries to invent something, but too much traffic to get through there, and the ball goes out of bounds. Have a boundary thrown. We've played 24 and a half in this first term. 6 goals scored. Go again. Students with another option towards goal. The kick is on its way. I'll tell you what, it's a bad effort. Margin back to 12 points. 25 minutes played, first term. Jones the target, just pushed in the back there, gave away the free kick to Clark. And maybe an opportunity for a late goal to the students. They'd like to get this back to within a goal. Pops it up, but well read. Guthrie comes away with it. Wide looking for West. Surtbass gets back. He's tackled as soon as he took it. Holding the ball, Lukakis with the football. Goes short, but chopped off by Elkington, who's gone back in defence. And maybe a chance for one late one. As the students stream forward, a good kick. Out to the leading Smith. Want to move it quickly, does so. Tries to get in there and does well. And the mark taken by James Lewington. Right on the siren, so this to bring it back to 6 points, which, if you remember the first 5 minutes of the game, will be a fantastic result for the students. They looked like they were going to get overrun early. 3 goals on the board by St George before they really pushed forward of halfway. And here is Lewington with a chance to reduce it to 6 points as we go into the quarter-time break. Kicks from about 45. Distance not an issue, and accuracy the problem there. So we go into quarter time, and it is the St George Dragons who lead by 11 points. A good quarter of football. As I said, St George looked like they were going to take away with it, but credit to Sydney University They work their way back into the game and they trail by 11 points at quarter time. We'll take a short break here at Blacktown International Sports Park. You're watching the 2015 BLK AFL Sydney Elimination Final. The loser, there is no tomorrow. For the winner, they play on for another week.
Coming straight back, boys.
I believe it's touched. I'd just like to check.
All clear. Mark, get the mark. Easy. Let's touch it.
Great call by the umpire.
Back here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the start of the second term. It is the Students by 11 points. And the umpire will come in and ball this one up. Interesting first quarter. St George got the first 3 goals of the game. Students fought their way back into it. Trial by 11 points. Smith has sort of worked out what he needs to do against West. Addison back there for St George, unable to take the mark, but good enough at ground level. Comes wide. Intended out here for Sanderson. Hands, trap the ball in and sees the running player. A good kick out into space. And Underwood just nowhere near that. Kept it in, almost Lukakis. And the boundary umpire right on it. Some good space, good pace there from the boundary umpire to keep up with that. Very quick ball movement. Right on it when he needed to be. Clear of it. Go down the line. Addison again back there. Didn't do much at all to get rid of that, and the umpire says boundary line helped you out on that occasion, Bryce. West at the back. Smith read it better and then didn't get rid of it properly. The kick will go to Lukakis. Lukakis goes short, not a great kick. Underwood just couldn't pick it up off his bootlaces. But coming through there, picking up very well was Vella. Got it clear, right under his hammer. And the scoop out there, the umpire did see it. I was going to say, almost got away with it. It'll be Campbell to fire it in for the Students. Good kick out in front of Frawley. Frawley takes it on the lead and will kick from outside 50. Decides to go short. The kick is impeccable. And Fife it was on the lead, and there's going to be a 50-metre penalty off the ball. Going on with it a little bit and giving away a certain goal now, the Dragons. Can't afford to do that. As easy as you like. Fife steps in, and all of a sudden the margin back to 5. Frawley, right on the money. And I think it might have been Priest off the ball. Just upset a little bit with some of the treatment he was getting. Either way, we're back in the middle. The Students come away with it again. Priest tackled, one arm free, gets the ball clear. Napa now under pressure. Plenty of Students around the contest. They get it clear. Some good hands from Crockmale. Kick smothered off the boot. Back in there again, Napa with some good hands dishing off. And the kick goes forward. An arm wrestle. Could have been in the back. Umpire right there says it's all okay. And I will have it. Good fight back by the Students. The kick comes out and finds Hodgson. In fact, it's Priest. Priest finds Sanderson on the lead. Pops it up for Ryan, and once again, Robertson just getting in his back, making sure he doesn't have a clear run at it. Been a good adjustment by Dane Robertson. Kicking the first 2 goals of the game. West brings it down, but plenty of students around this one. Campbell just kicks out into space. No one home though. And the kick comes back in, but offline. Margin back to a straight 6 points. Crease there for St George. Just had his eyes for the football. Got caught up in a bit of traffic. The tackle was good on Hoban. It was good enough to get the handball away, but they've turned it over, and now the students with a chance. The handball to Horton was good. Just had to get back and fumble it just a little bit. Impeded his run. Guthrie with a big shove off. Really interesting game in terms of turnovers. A little bit of lacking skills. But interesting to watch nonetheless. Lukakis goes inside. Looking for Prescott. Just couldn't quite trap the ball in. Now Johnson spins out of trouble. And a good kick up finds Danny Frawley. Frawley short. Crockmale. Goes further afield, and a good lead and well read there by Elkington. The big body up forward, pops it up. It'll be interesting there. Just, I think the intended target was Burns, but execution not great. Eventually the boundary line wins out. West brings it down. Campbell. Shove off. Frawley tries to have a shot on goal. Smothered. Addison now for the Dragons. Gets them clear. 1-on-1. Kenny couldn't bring it in. Almost gave away the free kick. Umpire says all okay in his opinion. And we'll have a ball up in the middle of the ground. Follow was just a little bit slow to get to the contest. West up against Elkington. Elkington gets the second touch. Goes straight down to Lukakis. His kick was smothered off the boot, so not able to get anything clear. Johnson goes backwards. Gives it to Clark. And they go through the middle. Elkington. Looks like he's moved into the ruck, if not temporarily. Roberts on the wing. Short. Found Burns. Burns inside. They're really not going anywhere at the moment. Johnson again. A lot of players standing still at the moment. Just to force something to happen. Addison reads that, but brilliantly read by Frawley. Steps around, goes on the left, pops it up. This one's coming back. I tell you what, that's a goal from Frawley. Napa pleads his case, but the goal will stand, and the margin reduced to 0. All square here at Blacktown. Some brilliant work by Frawley. Just something out of nothing. Napa here. Well over the line. Good call by the goal umpire. So the students have got everything square now. 4-3 apiece. Tremendous fight back by the boys from the university. What can the Dragons do now? Frawley again. And once again, turnover. Addison playing a great role back there for St George. Short to Shaw. Now they've found some space on the far side. Priest. Turns around, and a good mark going back with the fly of the ball. And they've turned it over, and they've turned it over. It's a turnover sort of game. Underwood to Crockmale. Now the students really trying to slow things down a bit. 5. Now runs himself in a bit of trouble. Able to get around though. Drives it in. Crockmile's pushed up and takes the mark. Round stands the mark. Forced to kick outside 50. Goes to the top of the square. 1-on-2. Horton in there. Just couldn't get a run at it. And it dribbles over the boundary line. Not a bad result for Sydney Uni. The umpire throws it in. Just overrunning it there was Baker. Rucking in was Gilbert for the Dragons. Plenty of handballs in this game. Underwood goes by foot. Eventually comes out, finds Campbell. Runs into a bit of trouble. Turnover comes and they'll ask the question. And the answer is a deliberate out of bounds. So Sydney Uni with a chance now to drive it back inside. Cert Bass, top of the square. And leaving mark taken. This is Conan. He's now looking for Ryan. Elkington quickly on the boot, drives it back inside. Coming through was Vella. Got the handball clear, just dropped it at his feet though. Smith, high up and under. And a great mark taken by Conan again. Stood under it, was camped under it for some time. Now the Dragons with a chance. A little bit of run through the middle. Flashy legs. Get pumping. Once again, turnover across half forward. And eventually goes out to Crockmile. Had plenty of it, the students. And the boys on the hill give a fair indication as to where that one ended up. And Addison will take the relieving free kick. In fact, it was Napa back there. Now with Brown. They want to move it clear. This is Addison. Short again. And another run. Priest was the target. If it's not Priest there, it is. Look that one up too. In fact, it's Gilbert. And turnover again. Crockmile has been lively. Gives it off to Cert Bass. See something he likes up forward, but Addison was right there with a big double fist up. And it goes out of bounds for a throw in. West has the run at it, but it falls beautifully for Elkington. Good smother off the boot though from Kenny. Students come away with an opportunity. The ball goes inside 50 again. Back there, Addison having to do a ton of work. And not a bad kick in the end. Sees it over the boundary line. Played 13, nearly 14 minutes of the second term. Scores a level here at Blacktown after a flurry of goals from St George early in the game. Students have just chipped away and got themselves back in this. He's in trouble now, Campbell. And the umpire says, I'll have it. I'm not sure about that. Certainly had a prior opportunity. I know the ball was moving. Lakakis, now Gilbert. Just drops it. Umpire's down. Bronx cheers from the crowd. Gilbert goes again. And a little bit there from West. And students working hard back there. That was Alex Horton. And they come out to find Nick Roberts. Both teams playing this possession game fairly well. It's just a last kick forward, sometimes causing issues. Roberts, it's a good call from the crowd there. Shout out not 10. The rules only changed about 10, 15 years ago. Elkington goes long. Trying to find Lewington, but set him a task. But he gets back Surtbass on the run. Just drops it. And once again, the turnover comes. And good mark going back with a fly of the ball from Alex Horton. Is that a case for a 50-metre penalty there? Oh, wasn't forthcoming. The kick's just sitting up. Eventually, it was good work there by Baker, goes inside. And here's Lewington to Surtbass. Surtbass tries to invent something, does very well, gets the handball clear. And the umpire's going to call this back, I think. Avis Foster finished off, but Addison in a lot of trouble. But the umpire's going to call the advantage eventually. And Sydney Uni get in front. And trouble here for the Dragons with Addison on the deck. Try and pick up how it happened. This contest here, it was Lewington that came out, gave it off to Surtbass. And just, shin on shin. And that could be trouble for Addison, and they can ill afford to lose him. Movement in the leg there, which is a good sign. Another look at it. Shin on shin here. There's nothing really in it, just legs got caught up. And there's a bit of stoppage in play here as we take a look. Addison. I hate to say it, but it could be his day done. And let's just hope it's nothing too serious. But just the way he was gesturing, there may be some sort of break. Let's hope not. Let's hope for the best. But it's not looking good at this stage. Just to rub salt into that, he has been probably one of their best, especially down in defence. Very important player for St George. Just reads the play, puts himself into the right positions. Fortunately, his day may be done. Straight down in the rooms for Addison. Try and keep you updated as to how he is. Certainly didn't look to be in too much pain. Could be issues going forward. We return back to the middle. The story is now Sydney University lead this one by 6 points. With all the momentum going their way. The Dragons coaching staff need to find something now. They need to find an answer quickly. West doesn't even contest this one. And he should be dominating. Goes forward. And again, students have an opportunity. Handball up from Vella. Gives it off to Elkington. Elkington to Surtbass. Bringing it round. Hitting the post. Coming out, was intended there for sure, just didn't take the chest mark. Tackled as he took it. Crockmile tries to get it up once again to Vella. And the Dragons are under all sorts of pressure at the moment, and they don't seem to be coping so well. And once again, another fumble. Ball goes out of bounds. That was Hoban. Now looks like Smith's starting to get the better of the ruck contest in terms of strength as well. They need to lift the Dragons. Cert Bass again. Top of the square, one-on-one. Napa with a big fist at the back. Very well. And now overcooked the kick. Smith did well to get the handball clear. Trying to invent something there. Coming through was Campbell. And eventually Underwood is tackled with the football. And the ball up right in front of us here at Blacktown International Sports Park. We've ticked into time on in this second term. And a fantastic term it has been for Sydney University. They've turned an 18-point deficit early on in the game. Very early on in the game. They now lead by 7 points. And they are up and about. The emergency umpire's out of his seat. Keeping the legs ticking over. Crockmale plays on. Kicks in the man on the mark. So didn't really get the advantage of play on. And the free kick is going to come here, pushing the back. Just a little bit of niggle around the contest. Roberts it was. And he's turned it over for holding the man. That's a brave decision by the umpire. You see it so often. And the umpire has decided he doesn't want to have anything of it. They go inside Napa, unable to take the mark. Kicks across goal. And the Dragons really need to find something. Tomlins fighting for the ball. Gets back. Shaw tracks it back. Goes by hand. Not the greatest of handballs. Puts a teammate under pressure, but up to the task. But another dropped mark. They didn't capitalise. A little bit too much on the kick again. And Sydney University seem to be harder at the football at the moment. Could be a fly on the wall inside the St George rooms at half time. They need to come up with a plan, and they need to come up with it quickly. West. Fantastic effort by Smith. Didn't look like he was going to be in the contest. In his first couple of ruck contests. He just worked his way back in. Tomlins goes back to Shaw. Two students go up, only one gets up. Ryan with a little limp as well. And he eventually gets the football. Nick Ryan has a shot on goal. It's offline. Just a minor score. Donahue on the mark, trying to put some energy in the football. They pop it up and they've caused a turnover. Jones, who's just slipped out of the game a bit. Donahue gets the kick. That was touched off the boot. Or was it? It wasn't, and Donahue gets the goal. I've sworn that was touched off the boot. And scores back level. Pick it up. See here, Jones did very well to bring the ball to ground. Donahue turns up. It's clear. Just the awkward spin of the ball. I thought it might have been off the hand that caused it. Not to be. And Donahue gets the goal. And we're back level into time on in the second. West gets up and over. That's what he needs to do more of. Guthrie. Inside 50. Almost a mark taken by Clark. He's down though, injured. And a big tackle applied. But St George, sorry. Two S's getting me tongue-tied up here in the box. Dragons. That was Hoban stepped inside. And that should be a trip. And you'll see the book come out here. Intentional trip. There should be a card. Yeah, went the ankle tap. He almost knew it. See from his reaction. And the yellow card. We've got to go. down in the crowd with a thinly veiled grasp on the rules. I believe it was the same gentleman that called it, not 10. So Hoban will take the kick from outside 50. You'd think too far out to score. And it was Campbell, who now finds himself on the bench for an extended period. Hoban's kick, well, he had all the time in the world to work out what he wanted to do, and that's what he came up with. Elkington goes back and gets it, though. Tries to invent something again. Another kick. Just getting his possibilities mixed up with the capabilities. And that's high. It'll be a St George free kick. Brown to take it. Brown will go long. West on the big lead. Just couldn't get it onto the chest. They get it back. Handball in tight spaces. And wrapped up. 26 and a half played second term. 5-4 apiece here at Blacktown. The scoreboard here shows 5-3, so we'll keep an eye on that. And it'll be West. The scoreboard has St George trailing by a point. West can certainly alter that scoreline with this kick. Kick from just inside the paint. On its way, going one way and staying that way. And I have them now leading by a point. The scoreboard here at Blacktown shows that scores level. We'll adjust accordingly at half time. Kick out. Smith takes the mark, goes long, but almost hands it on a platter. Just a nimble handball there from West. Gives it to Napa, drives them back, and Smith takes the mark and gets one on the chops. He's down. Quick look at it. Just a big swinging arm. It's from Sanderson. It's got Smith right across the neck or the chin. So happy with the treatment. And the gallop now. Which is wide. Finds Potts. Potts gives up. Baker. He's got his feet caught up. Emergency umpire doing plenty of kilometres at the moment. Up and down, up and down. Keeping the spot fires at bay. Frawley through the middle now. And Sydney Uni with a chance again to get a late one. And the kick was great. And Elkington did not break stride. And will find himself within 55 of goal. And he nominates his intention. As we tick into 29 minutes in this second term. And in the end he goes short, and very loose checking by the Dragons. And Frawley, who can kick a goal, will have another shot for the second time after the siren, and it'll be Frawley to take it. Danny Frawley, kick one this quarter. Distance shouldn't be an issue. Wrong side for the left footer, coming back, but not far enough. And I have it all square at half time. And we'll keep an eye on the goal umpires to check that, but a very good quarter again by Sydney University. They're just working their way, chipping away, getting themselves back into this game. And we'll check on the scores, but very close margin, if not non-existent here at half time, as both teams make their way into the change rooms. A little bit of soul searching for the Dragons. They've lost probably who was one of their best players, at least this afternoon, in terms of defence in Addison, who hasn't resurfaced from the rooms. We'll try and get an update on that. But as we go to the halftime break, we'll keep our eyes on the goal umpires. We'll keep it here until we get a sign-off from the goal umpires, but I have it 5-5 apiece, which is different to what the goal umpires have it in the middle. I'll just take our score off so they don't get themselves confused. Of course, we do stream up onto the scoreboard here at Blacktown. All in all, it is set up for a good second half here in this elimination final. Looks like there is an issue with the score, and they will get that resolved. I have it at 5-5, and I think you'll find that's what they'll come and adjust the score to. Yeah, they're saying 5-4 needs to go up by 1. 5-5, there it is. A lapse in concentration in the scorebox, but we have it all square here at Blacktown International Sports Park for this elimination final. 5-5 apiece. We'll take a break now and bring you all the second half action very shortly.
Coming straight back, boys.
I believe it's touched. I'd just like to check.
Mark, get the mark. Easy, easy, easy. Nice touching.
Great call by the umpire.
They've got their third win and
Program brought to you by.
They have got a half a dozen.
In our
For a limited
Work, the boys just said, we've got to put.
Well, it's not often you get to ask.
On, so.
But he missed.
Been going wrong with the Tigers, and I guess the misses, the shots. It's going to be a big.
straight back, boys.
I believe it's touched. I'd just like to check.
Mark it to mark. Easy, easy, easy. Nice touching.
Great call by the umpire.
So welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. Half time here at Blacktown for this, the elimination final. And we went into the halftime break with scores locked at 5-5 apiece. So it's almost an elimination final played in 2 quarters. Really neither side giving any ascendancy in that first half of football. If anything, Sydney University, just by the manner they work themselves back into the game, have the momentum, but we know what halftime breaks can do sometimes. We set ourselves to start off this second half. Boys just taking their time, making sure everything's in readiness. Holds the ball aloft. 2 quarters left for one of these two teams, and right now it is no clear as to who it will be. What we do know is that one will be coming back. Throws the ball in the air. West gets it off the ground, looking for Tomlins. The handball from Leclerc has just had a little bit too much on it. But they've got it clear now, St George. They get the clearance, they go inside 50. Leading the race there to the ball was Robertson. Couldn't take the chest mark, they get it back over. Eventually Baker hands the ball off. And a dangerous kick across goal. Donahue trying to ride that one in. Fife ends up with it for the students. But the kick is a poor one. And Martin takes an easy mark. Drives them back in, looking there for Donahue again. Over the back there, gives it off. Handball almost could have been a left foot goal. They snapped themselves. It was going in there, Sanderson. Tried to give it off to Nick Ryan. And the result, not a good one for St George. It's the contest. West up against Smith. Smith just gets in the way. Crockmall, laconic try and kick that ball out of defence. Right in the bump on that occasion was Fife, and they've got it clear. Crockmile again. In fact, it's not on this occasion. Who that was. George forced the turnover again. 2-on-1 contest here. Good work there by Baker. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Really the game there for the taking. Other side. I will come and ball this one up again. Plenty of stoppages in this afternoon's game. As this one gets clear. Over the boundary line. The umpire asks the question. The answer is throw it in. West and Smith go at it again. Crockmale at the fall of the ball. Tap it on there was Mavis Foster. Go inside on the mark. Good one. The defence has stood tall this afternoon, Sydney Uni. They were really jumped in that first 5 minutes of the game. Nick Ryan kicked 2 goals. The Dragons were up by 18 at one stage very early on. Credit to their defence and their coaching staff as well. To just reel it in. Good smother coming from Shaw. Surtbass ends up with it in his arms. Good handball out, opens up a bit of space for Roberts. Roberts then on to Clark. They're building here something, the students. They push it forward. Smith just couldn't keep it in. And we'll have a ball up inside 50 for Sydney University. Throw comes in. West almost takes it out of the ruck. And just a little bit of traffic around the football. Napper ends up with the ball in his arms, but not going anywhere. Once again, Smith. And this time the umpire says illegally got in the way. You just get the feeling maybe something might have been said to the umpires at half-time. Smith has been pretty clever about what he's been doing in the ruck, just trying to get in the way of West. On the occasion gave away the free kick. Tracking it back there was Lukakis, but Crockmile was better. Pops it up, gives it to Roberts, steps around one, goes by hand. Horton under pressure, but they get it clear. Once again, Vella swings it around, not coming far enough. And goes through for one behind. And that is the margin as it stands. St George now with a little bit of room to move on the far side. The turnover comes intended there for Sanderson. Well read by, in fact it was Clark. And a good handball up, Underwood. Just works his way, he knows what he wants to do, just can't get around. Goes by hand to Crockmile, but the turnover comes, Guthrie swoops. Now Brown has a bounce. Gets it over, and that was Kenny with a little bit of flash. Goes to the top of the square, Nick Ryan, we've seen that a couple of times. Just couldn't bring it in on this occasion. And once again, the students rebound out of defence and with a ton of space to work in. Good run there from Horton. With the kick, not a great one. And Napper just rode the bump there of Vella. The turnover comes again. Smith, the ruckman, goes inside, saw an opportunity. Couldn't quite get it there to Frawley, and the rebound comes again. So it's really been played between the arcs at the moment. Ryan has to force the spoil from behind. They're in trouble now. Incorrect disposal and advantage paid. Ryan drives it in, open, goal square. How will this one bounce? Straight through the middle, and St George get the first of the second half. And it comes off the boot of Nick Ryan, an opportunity presented, and he delivered. See here, forcing the turnover and from well outside 50 Ryan saw the open goal square and slotted it through. St George get their noses in front. Back in the middle, 6-5, plays 5-6. Now the question being asked is Sydney any Crockmole wrapped up. In fact, the umpire says holding the ball. They seem to be cracking down on a few of those. Lakakis with the ball. Goes inside. Donahue just works his player under the ball. Underwood tracks it back. Donahue just with a little touch. Looks to get it up. Goes further afield. And now another shot on goal. Ryan in the goal square has the sit. Well done. On that occasion it was Robertson again. See, heavily strapped leg there, Robertson. Long kick out from Sydney University. Back of the pack there was Brown. They've lifted now the Dragons. Tomlins goes over the top, finds Shaw on the run. Goes with a chiselling kick inside. Couldn't quite find a target. And it finds the boundary line. Crockmole tries to spin out of trouble. Could have been high. Umpire calls play on. Now St George drive it back inside. Awkward bounce. Well read. And it's Potts that comes away by hand. Robertson over the top. 47. As the ball trickles over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. There'll be plenty of stoppages in the game this afternoon. Let's just see how this ruck contest goes. West at the back. Smith gets in front, just tries to pat it down to Crockmole. That seems to be the play of the day, so to speak. Good work there from Johnson. The ball going in his direction. The kick goes forward. Scrubby looking kick. Napper will track it back. Got two to beat. Couldn't do so. Lewington with a nice little handball. Gives it off to Vella. Open goal square in front of him, and the kick is dreadful. He's put it out on the full. And an opportunity gone begging there for the students. Going again now. Jones, who was so lively early in the game, seemed to have negated a bit of his influence on the game. And good work there from Horton. Just make sure Gilbert couldn't take the mark, and over the boundary line it goes. There at Crockmole covers a lot of ground in a game of football. Here it is again, Smith and West. Smith with the run of the ball. West just seems to be a little bit out of sorts. He dominated those first few ruck contests. Since then, he's really struggled, and Smith has risen to the occasion. George now go forward. It was a good mark taken by Travis Martin. In fact, it was Taylor Priest. Correction. And the turnover comes again. It really has been the order of the day. Turnovers at half back, half forward. And we could have another one here. Gilbert goes at it hard, does well to bring the ball down to his advantage. Gives it up there to Hodgson. Hodgson with a kick inside. Out there intended for Ryan. Robertson's right there with him. In fact, it was... Now, the students with a chance to get it out. Crockmole again gets plenty of it. And forces the handball. Not out of trouble yet. Potts over the top. Shark there by Hill. His kick inside is going to land to the advantage of the students. And they get it out of trouble. How will this one bounce? Beautifully, and the handball, superb. Over the top to Horton. Horton goes inside. The kick was brilliant. Elkington, right on his fingertips. Moves the ball quickly. One-on-one contest, and a beautiful kick. A fantastic mark taken. And the mark and the kick on goal will come from Zach Fife. And this, to get the margin, well, just to eliminate the margin, get the scores back to level. Fife. Good kick, great finish, and the students are back. Very much off the back of some good skills on this near side. Great work here to trap the ball. The handball was brilliant. And Horton's kick saw Elkington just right on the fingertips. Took it beautifully. And rather than go back and slow things down, move the ball on quickly. And another mark taken right out in front. Perfectly weighted kicks. Scores level again here at Blacktown. Guthrie hands it up and they're forced to turn over again. Students go inside. They'd dearly love to go into the three-quarter time break ahead. Horton couldn't bring that in. And we'll have a ball up inside 50. Horton will have to do the ruck work as well up against West. West gets in front on this occasion. And Crockmale off to Lewington. Lewington on the left. Just a scrubby kick. And it floated off further afield. They get then noses in front. The students. Napa goes short. Prescott finds Hill. Hill goes further afield. Really sets a task for his teammate there in Brown. Almost up to it. Gilbert dispossessed. Tries to knock it on into the path of Lukakis. But students there, that should be holding the ball. Umpire letting a lot go on. In fact, he's going to bring it back. It'll be a free kick. It was against Clark. And Lukakis to take it. I feel a sense of a feeling of urgency now from both sides. I'm sure St George would have really been working on right there, not be able to have taken. St George would have liked to have been a bit further in front. They certainly wouldn't want to be trailing at this point in the game. As Burns kicks up, but no one home for the students. Napa back there. Interesting to see the influence of Addison now that he's off the field. We're still trying to track down the nature of the injury, but rest assured you probably won't see him out there again today. And how it will affect the Dragons is yet to be known. Students eventually gets it to Underwood. Underwood looks inside, had Planger and Johnson to go to, but just overcooked the kick. And getting back there was Priest. And now the Dragons have a little bit of run. This could end up in the arms of Nick Ryan. That's the way it's going. Getting back there was Potts. I think he heard something coming. Given plenty to run and too far. The question asked from the gentleman in row 4E. And the umpire delivers. Just getting an update through here from the rooms. Obviously, as we saw on the leg injury there, it is a possible break. The ambulance is here on its way. He is doing fine in the room, so rest assured he's in good hands. Nick Ryan's kick just offline. Scores level again. Wonders of modern technology. We do have a lot of the Addison family down there with Bryce at the moment, so he is doing okay, but we will not see him out there again this afternoon. Priest did well, turn the play around. Now to Donahue. Just works the ball over the boundary line. West works his way to the front again. Goes over the boundary line. Just getting another message down from the rooms as well. Rickson done for the day. He's done his hand injury. We won't see him again this afternoon. So the walking wounded out there at the moment for St George, and there's a free kick off the ball here. It's going to go against Roberts, just held the jumper, and now Donahue. Looks like he's worked his way a bit further up the field, looking for Ryan. The big miss come up. Fantastic work, Nick Ryan. And when those two players link up, you can be assured there'll be a shot on goal. Donahue, a fair servant of the St George Footy Club over the years, and great to see him out there playing a bit of finals football. But even better to see Nick Ryan with a shot on goal. And this to just wrestle the lead back in favour of the Dragons. Already kicked a couple today. Ryan's kick, a low kick, but effective. And the Dragons jump out to a 6-point lead. Have a look at it again. It's from this boundary contest. Free kick off the ball. Straight to Donahue, and the kick here from Donahue is exactly intended for Nick Ryan. And the big mitts well above any other opponent. And finished off beautifully. Back in the middle, West wins this one. He's starting to get back in control of the ruck now is Jordan West. Played 18 minutes in this third term. Next there was Vella, and they're starting to get their hands on the football a little more, St George. Oh, they've turned it over now, and Horton takes the relieving mark. Horton's kick finds Crockmale. And it's interesting, played on. There was plenty of players around him at the time. Just needed to have a little bit more awareness. As Vella throws on the left boot and finds the leading Fife. Fife goes backwards. Player all out in his own here in Baker on this near side. They just need to work it out to him. Just lurking. Not going to come that way. Elkington finds it deep in the pocket, too far out to score. Just chips it over the top, inventive, and Jones was up to the task. Called to play on to round his opponent. Ryan well up the field, but they've got some run now through the middle. In the arms of Lukakas, one-on-one out there is Donahue. Just couldn't get to the fall of the ball. And fingertips in it. Could have been a free kick for pushing the back, and it is. He'll come back to Martin. Wants to move it quickly. Goes by hand. Inventive. Just put him under all sorts of pressure there, Priest. Gets the kick away eventually. Up and under. Donahue takes the mark. Played on touch. Goes around 360. Gets rid of it quickly. Bouncing ball. And not forced over. Close contest. Not a bad option. Potts takes the mark, and he'll just settle. Near time on in this third term. St George by 6 points. And free kick coming. He's going to be pushing the back. It'll be Sydney Uni free kick. It's against Donald Hoban. And it'll be Campbell. Take the kick, goes to Lewington. Lewington moves it on quickly. High up and under. Go with the fist, and it lands beautifully in the arms there of Brown. Brown chops it over the top, looking for the running Vella. Vella gets it on the boot. How will this one bounce? Early. And through for a behind. Margin back to 5 points. We're into time on in the third. Tell you what, Kenny almost copped umpire's flag in the face on that occasion. This man's a long way from home. Ryan, well down the field. Looks like they're going to just put a little bit more firepower down back. And the free kick comes. Can't quite see what that one was for. Here's St George with an opportunity. Hill with the ball, goes centre. And a good mark taken. Out there was Priest. Priest goes further afield. Out there, a little bit of run, just needs to pick it up. Crockmale goes with the bump. Plenty of support for the Dragons. Oh, eye up and under. This one's looking good. Going back and not giving up the behind. Once again, Sydney Uni, so that's twice they've done that. And they quite easily could have rushed it. And good work in their favour. And there's a free kick here. We'll come back to Sydney Uni. It's Donahue. Just a bit of high contact. So the game really hanging by the wire at the moment. There's nothing in it. 5 points separates these two teams. Score's been locked level for much of this third term. St George just get their noses in front. West tries to take the big pack mark. Couldn't bring it down. And he's still on the deck. If he was up, he could have effected a tackle there. Elkington steps around the player. Pops it clear. Finds Frawley. Wave of players pushes forward for Sydney Uni. They decide to try and find another way in. Not much on offer. They have to try and invent something here, and Donahue read it well. Turns them around. Spits it up. Trying to find Sanderson, and Sanderson takes the chest mark. Just trying to do too much on that occasion, Sydney University. And Donahue was very good. Read it well. Put it up, and Sanderson was able to get the read on the ball. He'll go back, and this to open it up to an 11-point lead in the context of this game. And in time on in the third, a very important kick. Sanderson just needs the accuracy, and I think he's got it. Made the umpire do a little bit of work, but St George get another one. They lead by 11 points. Let's have a look at it here. Sydney University trying to switch the ball, but Donahue was up to the task and knew that there was some players streaming forward. Sanderson almost forgot to turn around and lands in his arms. St George get the goal. 8-7 plays 6-8 now here, and that's gone sideways. What can Sydney Uni find? They need to find something. Crockmale, very good at ground level. Pops it up, nothing out here. Lewington having to track it back. The bounce is kind. The second one, not so. Turns it around and the boundary line wins out. 24 and a half played in this, the third term. Still plenty of time for the students. Can't let St George get their noses too far in front. Smith did well in front of the pack. Ryan goes back and gets his own footy. Pops it up. It's been not a bad move. Just putting Ryan behind. Donahue just goes with a kick out of air, but Horton up to the task. Ryan, just make sure they're not getting any clean ball coming out of defence. As the siren sounds to end this third term, a good one for the Dragons as they go into the final break. 11 points up, and with their noses in front in this tight contest, it's been a very good quarter for them. Sydney Uni, well, they'll come again. They've been right there and abouts most of the afternoon, and they won't let this one get away too easily. But we've got one quarter left for one of these football sides, and at the moment it's still anybody's game. But the St George Dragons, they lead by 11 points, 8-7-55. Two late goals really opened up that margin for them. Sydney Uni 6-8-44. We'll take a short break here at Blacktown International Sports Park. We'll be back shortly with all the last quarter action. It's the elimination final, the BLK AFL Sydney competition. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park as we get set for the final term here in this elimination final. And it's been an entertaining one, to say the least, so far. St George hold an 11-point lead going into this final term. But the students have really been right on their hammer most of the afternoon. They will be desperate to get themselves back in this game. Get traffic around this. Crockwell in there for the students. Or will just get locked in. Two students fighting over it amongst themselves. And you can see a ball up. The umpires today been good. Aidan Kittle, Matthew Bagent and Lachlan Head. And, it's finals time for umpires as well. And they've handled this one well. Smith got in front again of West, and the quick handball off there from Roberts into Crockmale was a good one. Now open up a little bit of space. Elkington gives it back to Johnson. Johnson just high up and under. The intended target there was Fife. It eventually gets to him a couple of bounces. He gives himself a fair old falcon from a handball himself there. And the ball will be wrapped up. Crockmale there again. He covers some ground. West and Elkington to do battle. West gets the better of this one. Carcass's kick. Turnover comes Smith. Just set himself up, one kick behind play. Good play from the resting ruckman. Good effort there as well from Fife to bring the ball to ground. And eventually trickles over the boundary line. Good goal here to the students would make it a very interesting game, to say the least. Elkington and West. West just leaves it back. Lakakis tries to swing it out of the air. Eventually pops up, and the mark is paid to Hoban. Travel just the required distance. Hoban rushes the kick. He slipped over in his black pie and went through with the kick. Horton. Hoban again involved. Good handball underground to Vella. Vella kicks it up and it sits nicely for Elkington. Just couldn't get the hands around it. And it trickles over the boundary line. And a boundary throw in deep in the forward line for the students. They dearly love to convert this into a goal. Just need that roving small forward. Elkington and West. West did the better there. Crockmale out of the pack. Nothing going at the moment. Plenty of numbers around this football. Not going to be easy. Elkington just lies on it. Napper asks the question. And the umpire says, I'll throw it in the air. Expect the intensity at some stage to just lift that extra notch. It is an elimination final. Do or die for these two teams. Again, Elkington and West. West does well just to try and block the run of Elkington. Pops it down forward. Conan, he's tackled with a football. Still alive. Crockmale just fumbled as the ball came to him. And wrapped up in a tackle. We'll have another ball up. West brings it down. Campbell tries to invent something. Eventually, kick comes clear and goes through for a minor score, but they need the goal. Sydney Uni. In effect, what it does gives St George an opportunity just to maintain possession. And they've done this well this afternoon. That one's just a hit and hope. Smith there. Good work from behind. Johnson. Ball spills free. Getting back onto it is Horton. Turns it around. Underneath that one. Looks like Tomlins couldn't take the chest mark. And we'll have another ball up. This time right on centre wing here at Blacktown. West gets the better of that one again, but there's so many numbers around the ball, just cannot get the ball clear. Umpire just loads. Just see when they rock back in their stance, the umpires get ready for that classic holding the ball signal. St George with the ball now. Kick is long and direct. Intended for Kenny. Couldn't bring it in. Coming up with the football there was Potts. Has to handball quickly. Comes back to him, and not a bad one in the end. Got it clear. Students just can't find a bit of space. Robertson. Kick out. He is right down the boundary line. Runs out of space. We'll have another boundary throw in. Next week it'll be the East Coast Eagles taking on Pennant Hills out there at Henson Park. The AFL Sydney match of the week will be bringing you the grand final, the Women's Division 2 grand final, and also the Division 5 grand final from here in Blacktown. Still plenty of football to be played in 2015. Could have been holding the man there against Frawley. Umpire says play on. Hill dispossessed. Handball comes clear. Now trying to work his way into a bit of space was Fife. Spins it around, hasn't got the legs, and going back and taking the relieving mark is St George defender. It was Napa now with the ball. Goes down the line, Gilbert the target, Underwood doing battle. Underwood with the big fist. Not sure this goes over the boundary line. We'll reset. Surt Best comes on. Moves Michael Baker. Smith back in the ruck against West. It's their preferred option. They've been holding the ball there against Clark. It was a good tackle in the end, and they've turned it over again, the students. Campbell it was on that occasion. Short kick comes out looking for Guthrie. A good mark taken. Given a little bit to go on with. And they come. Guthrie's kick is a good one. Sanderson now with the football. Wants to go back. And Jones. He goes direct, trying to find Gilbert. Falls over the back to Priest. In fact, it was Brown. And the students under pressure now. St George have lifted their tackling intensity, and just stepping over the line was Jake Brown. Plenty on the line, and it's St George Dragons by 10 points. Now the ruck contest going up well before acceptances there was Brown. He gives away the free kick. Jones for the Dragons. West just underruns the ball, and he's opposite. And Glenn Smith takes the mark. Goes for a gallop, coming from the side. And Napa. It's a little bit of kick to kick going on at the moment, which is not what the students need. Of course, the prize today is a meeting with the Giants next Sunday afternoon. Bringing all that action as well. As it falls for West. Opportunity kick for the Druckmann. And Jordan West puts it through for St George. Something out of nothing. And the Dragons get one. And they march out to a 16-point lead. It really was something from nothing for St George. The unlikely roving of the pack by West. And the kick was a good one to finish off. Back in the middle now. A couple of St George supporters given the what for. So a little bit of feeling coming into it, even if it might have been misguided. But now, St George with another opportunity. They get it clear. Lewington gets the ball up. And an interesting decision here from the umpire. He was under pressure as he kicked. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Good work from Smith. West forced to smother. The ball was kicked into him. Cert Bass. Goodwill there. Knew he was going to be over the boundary line. As predicted, the game just lifting a notch. 10.5 played in the final term. And St George have a 16-point lead at this stage. Once again, the students just looking a little bit rattled at the moment. Davis Foster gets the handball clear, and the umpire says illegally. And Guthrie will drive the St George Dragons into attack again. Looking there for Kenny, I think it was. Couldn't bring it in. Donahue in the area as well. Potts has been good back there and has had a shot. He split the middle. Won't count. You don't see that often in footy. Jeez, it was a good angle. Be, showing his wares to maybe make a move up into the forward line in 2016. The turnover comes again. Here's Brown tackled. Umpire says in the back. Nothing going right for the students at the moment. And Brown, well, amazing how many times players cramp up when they're 16 points up in the final term. Jake Brown, be a good kick if he wants to have a shot from here. He's signalled that intention. Right from outside 50. It's on its way. Jeez, it had the legs. West at the back. Couldn't bring it in. And goes over the boundary line. West and Smith. Gilbert with the tackle on Cert Bass. The umpire says, I'll have it. West again out of the ruck, tries to go for the goal, and a quick kick comes out. It's going to go out of bounds on the full. And the students with the opportunity, they need something here. Almost last chance saloon now. He goes short to Frawley. The Dragons have stepped up their defence. That's inventive and ambitious to say the least. Crockmale had no opportunity there. And we throw it. 13 gone, final term. Smith wins this ruck again. Frawley, ground level. Pops it up. Johnson spins around. Gets the ball going forward. They need more of that. No one really at the fall of the ball though. And St George come away with it. Comes up Napa. Did very well to just not take possession. Make sure the ball went clear. Now they come up trying to get away with it. Almost could have been holding the ball on that occasion. But wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll have a ball up. Oh, and Nick Ryan, he's been playing forward, but he gets the call every now and then. Go back and bolster the back line, and it looks like he's moving that way now. Standing in the middle of the ground, it's going to be a St George free kick. And Jones it is. Very lively early in this game. Just faded out a little bit, but he stood up when needed. Goes back to Napa. Soaking up extra time. They're looking for Ryan. Big fly from, looks like Brown again. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Weston Smith. He's got it going forward. He just lifted his game In these last stages, Brown has worked his way forward. Kick over the top. How was this one bounced? Good work there, going back with it. Potts. With the margin now 3 goals. And we're approaching the 15-minute mark of the final term. Time enough if they're good enough, the students. But they just need to find a little bit of momentum. Severely lacking in this final term. Plenty of players went up. Oh, came down with the football. It's a Sydney University free kick. A lot of jogging around the ground. Tired boys. But, they need to find something if they want to extend their season by another week. Potts goes through the middle looking for Crockmale. Couldn't take the mark, and the Dragons pounce. They go forward again. Donahue bustling, gets a bit of a don't argue, goes over the top looking for Gilbert. Gilbert's wrapped up in a tackle. And it was good work there by Burns. And we'll have another stoppage. Inside 50 for St George. As I said earlier, take on the Giants from Manly Warringah next week. And the turnover comes again. Jones goes inside, top of the arc, looking for Ryan. Couldn't get there. Kenny dispossessed. Johnson with the handball out. And they get it clear off the boot of Clark. Out there in front of Fife. Bounces nicely for him. Puts on the afterburners. Has one bounce. Gets out of the way of Tomlins. Goes by hand. Looking there for Vella. And eventually gets to Vella. A little tap on from Brown. Vella goes back and gets it. Brown gets involved again. Vella by hands. Gives it back. Crockmale might have been the option. They go longer. And almost the mark taken. That is Frawley. Frawley works it back on the left. No one home. And getting back there for the Dragons was Hill. Pops it up, looking for Shaw, and whistle on play. And Shaw will get the free kick. Give off to Brown. He's been all over the place in this last term. Gilbert. Been high. Umpire says yes. Got the ball going forward. Just need to settle Surtbass, and there'll be a downfield free kick against Gilbert. And can't quite see what was that. Let's see a team rule. Give away a 50-metre penalty. I don't think that was 50-metre penalty. I think it was more downfield. Lining up for important goals, Fife. Kick on its way and splits the middle. They're not done with yet. The margin back to 12 points. See if we can pick up this downfield free kick. Actually came back. And there it was. Oh, not much in it. See the replays here at Blacktown, and one of the players shout out what was that for. We're back in the middle, Sydney Uni. They trail by 12 points. They've kicked the last goal. They need another one here, Smith. They bring that one back. 18 and a half. We're approaching time on. Quick goal out of the middle is exactly what the students need. Smith just couldn't get over the top of West. And quicked out off the air. Now Sydney University just need to find a bit of space to work in. The kick from Clark out wide, looking for Surtbass on the run. Just sits up nicely. Johnson in support. Surtbass's kick is poor. And found Ben Jones. And he has just been the general back there in this last term. Not a great kick. Not a lot of players going for the football. Coming through there was Horton. And he squeezes a kick through, and he's found Frawley in a bit of space. Now Frawley can have a look up. Leading Elkington, takes it on the 50 mark. Probably going to be right in the limit of his kick. He's got, coming through on this near side, is Baker. Gets involved now. Elkington's kick is a good one, right to the square. And goes through for a point. Margin 11 points. be remiss of me to say that might be a important point. 4 minutes to go. I'm getting the signal through. So not a lot of time on to be played. And it is wrapped up on the far wing. So the old adage, if it's more minutes than goals, it's possible. It's Lee Matthews who gives that one. Crockmale will see it over the line. They need something quickly, the students. They haven't scored at will in this final term. Even that last goal was a dubious downfield free kick. Crockmale trying to invent something himself. Eventually gets it on the boot. Goes forward. A mark here will be interesting. Couldn't get it. And the mark taken. They go back. They've popped it up here. Tomlin's under pressure. Has to kick quickly. Napa worked into space well. And the boundary line will beat him. Chance for the students to get a few numbers around the ball. Really a lot of players on the jog. They finally congregate and the ball comes in. Smith almost held on to Crockmale. Originally went high and got him on the second one. And Guthrie will have the kick. Take nothing away from Crockmale. He has been tireless this afternoon. Been everywhere here at Blacktown. But the way it's panning out, maybe all in vain. It looks like the students are going to finish their season this afternoon. But they might just find something late. Clark has a bounce through the middle. Needs a mark here. Too far out to score, you'd think. Frawley spins quickly, finds a player on his own in the middle. It's Vella. He needs to go back and kick this quickly. And this will make it interesting. 11 points the margin. Vella with an opportunity to bring it back to 5. And it really comes down to next goal wins. Vella's kick is offline, and that's not going to do him any favours. 10 points the margin, 22 played. There's surely only seconds on the clock. St George Dragons should go through to meet the Giants next week. And there's a whistle through the middle of the ground. It's going to be against the runner. I believe it's against the runner. And it'll be Crockmale to take the kick. Well, this is interesting. Forgive me if it wasn't the runner, but Crockmale puts it through the middle. 4 points the margin. Next goal wins. Time enough if they're good enough. Should be about 90 seconds left on the clock. And a quick centre clearance here. It's not done with yet. Can the students rise from the flames? There for the taking. So about 90 seconds left. Smith up against West. West brings this one down. Good work there from Kenny, but it's the students who come away with it. Johnson spins out of trouble. Works it to the far side. They need to go forward. Bounces, well done by Frawley. Brings it in. That was brilliant stuff. Goes inside. This is interesting. In there as well was Fife. Spins it around. Kick here from Vella. Got the ball. Wants to go backwards to go forwards. The kick had too much on it. He's turned it over. And almost that could be the end of the game as Jones cleans up. And the Dragons get away with it. Conan. Vella really just needed to get it to the top of the square. And not to know how much time is left. But they should know there's not much. As the ball goes over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in, and it could be all over for the students. The margin is 4 points. It's been a tight tussle all afternoon. And it just might be over. St George may have just done enough. West with a big tackle. Eats up seconds. Vella tries to get this one, and the boundary line wins out again. Seconds remaining on the clock. been a tight tussle, as I said. The Dragons kicked the first 3 of the game and looked like they were going to command the entire afternoon, but the students worked their way back into it. And then there's the siren! And St George get away with one. They win by 4 points here at Blacktown International Sports Park, and they book themselves a meeting with the Giants next weekend. Sydney University, they were valiant in defeat, but in the end, time beat them, and they just could not get that extra goal. 4 points the margin in the end, and a scoreline that really befits how the game was played out. Congratulations to the Dragons. They live to see another day. For Sydney University, well, it has been a good season for them, but they will finish the season in 5th spot and will bow out in the first week of the finals. So that looks like what we've got coming up in next week here in the AFL Sydney competition. East Coast Eagles will take on Pennant Hills on Saturday out there at Henson Park. And it is the Manly Warringah Giants who will take on St George on Sunday out there at Henson as well, as they progress through for another week here in the AFL Sydney competition. We'll wrap things up here at Blacktown. And just a note, if you are coming to some of the games, there's definitely the grand finals in the next couple of weeks. Bring along a radio. We'll be broadcasting live to the ground as well. And jump on Twitter and Facebook and drop us a line at AFL Sydney is the handle. And we'll love to see your comments. It's been a good day out here at Blacktown. That wraps up week 1 of the Premier Division finals, and St George progressed through as Pennant Hills will take on the East Coast Eagles next weekend as well. And as I said, the Manly Warringah Giants will have a meeting with St George, and that will determine who will progress through as we quickly approach the grand final. We have grand finals next week in the lower divisions. The grand finals over across the next 3 weeks, so you can catch all of those here on AFL Sydney Live. As I said, we'll wrap things up here at Blacktown. It's been a fantastic afternoon of finals football. St George, the winners in the end, 9-9-63. Sydney University, 8-11-59.